Hello and welcome back to Football Manager 2024. My name's John. I've had a few people contact me to say, can I run through the template again, a bit slower. So we're going to start off with a new career. So just remember the buttons that I'm pressing here. Pick team for later. Choose game mode, and what we will do here, we will just leave it as the game suggests on original. Advanced setup, we're just going to set up the English League down to the North and South National League. So just remember to go here. Click on the bottom one, that's the Vanarama National League North Stroke South and above. And in the left hand corner here, make sure you've got ticked add players to playable teams and disable player attribute masking. You need nothing else ticked at all, just those two for this game. The estimated game speed is 5-star. That will depend on how fast your computer is running. And what we're going to do here is set up the game database. This is going to take us a few minutes. So what we'll quickly do is go into the template itself. Lots of tabs down the bottom. I will run through them bit by bit. You don't really need to know much on the first one, which I've left blank at the moment. That's just an example. The squad is a bit early for that as well. All you're going to need first of all is the third tab along, which is budgets. When we start the game, we will fill in here how much the weekly wage budget comes to. And then moving along, these are just some simple things that I'll use, and again, it's not worth me telling you them now. This is going to be for player ratings, we'll come back to that. And this is going to be our goalkeeper sheet. And going along the bottom, this is all the other player positions that we may use during the game. The next one is the player stats. Again, you'll see how that works as we get to that. This is the player value. If you've got an estimated goalkeeper that's on 155 to 156 points and he's 18 years of age, we go along to 18 years of age and it will tell us that goalkeeper is worth £8. We do go all the way up here to about 560 on a goalkeeper. An average goalkeeper, if you look on the player stats here, an average goalkeeper that would be playing in the Premier League, let's go down to the top half, would be 456 points. We go down till we see 456 points. That goalkeeper, if he was around 23 years of age, as you can see there, it would tell us is worth around £53 million. This is going to be the player form page, and these last ones will be staff stats, coaching, scouting, and medical staff. But as I said, the first one we're going to look at will be the wage budgets. So that's the game loaded. Use profile. We're going to go down to the bottom league, and we will either use the North or the South, and in this case we'll use it. And let's have a look where they've estimated these to finish. Bishop Stortford to finish 23rd. We'll try and be a team that is somewhere down the bottom. Alright, that's your bottom team, Russell Olympic. And Warrington, Warrington to finish 22nd. So what we will do, once we've picked our club, in this case we'll go for Warrington. Now when you come to this page, this is where a lot of people cheat. You know, it's very easy to say that you can manage Manchester United, and this will bring you right out to here, and at this end right out to here. It won't give you a true reflection of the manager that you're supposed to be. You can see that's moved inwards, tells us that we're pretty much rubbish. We're on line with Warrington. And confirm and start playing. So let's go into FM. We'll save game as Warrington. Just wait for that to save, and then we will forward the game on. And as you can see, work within wage budget, grow the club's reputation, finish in mid-table in the Vanarama National League North. Wow. They expect us to finish third from bottom, but the club vision tells us to finish mid-table. So that's going to be a bit of a challenge, I would think. Don't bother playing the intra-squad friendly with the rest of the squad. It just doesn't make sense. Right, so we're into the game here, and the first thing, as I said, we're going to do, we're going to look at finances. You can see that we have £5,702 per week in the wage budget. So we put that in the top. And you can see these numbers that I've clicked on. This tells us in each position how much we've got to spend on the combination of all the players that are going to be in the goalkeeper position for the start of the game. Now, at this end, I normally play 4-4-2, but if you play 4-3-3, you need to shade in different colours for your squad. So in this case, I'm going to play 4-4-2. We've got one goalkeeper, one left defender. We would have two central defenders, one right defender, one left midfielder, two central midfielders, one right midfielder, and two strikers. And as you can see, it tells us how much we've got available in each position. So we will start with the goalkeepers of £441. So clicking on here, you can see that down here is the wage budget in orange, and it will be £441. It's split up. It tells you you should be able to afford two senior goalkeepers at £121 each, two under 21 goalkeepers at £77 each, and two under 18 goalkeepers at £22 each. So that will be the first thing that we will come to. But before we start anything, we have to fill in this box at the bottom. So starting with player stats, this is going to be goalkeepers. Goalkeepers form is slightly different to player form because players have 36 attributes and the goalkeepers have 35 attributes. Now the league that we're going to be in is the National League North. So we want to make sure that we've got this line of form. But what we're going to do, we're going to take the National League and the National League North and the regional divisions. So we're going to put them into there, and we go back to the stats, and we can see that the top number in the National League will be 344. We just put that there, and the rest should take care of itself. There we go. The reputation of these leagues on the game is 1.5 stars for the National League, 1 star for the National League North and South, and 0.5 star for the regional Premier Divisions. So yet again, we just need to fill this in. As we go back to the club vision, they've told us, I'd already read this bit out, that we must finish in mid-table. Don't worry about the competitiveness in any cups. All we're interested in is finishing mid-table. So you can see here, mid-table, and you go down until the National League North is level with the mid-table, and it tells us that a goalkeeper we're going to need to play for this team will need 314 points. So what we've got to do is now go on to the goalkeepers, so we click onto the squad, and you want to make sure you filter all the players here. And we'll put them in order from goalkeepers to strikers. So you can see here that we have 4 goalkeepers present at the club, and I'm going to show you now how to get the player rating. The first goalkeeper is 23 years old, so that tells us that any player here who's not in the under 21s, who's going to be 20 or less, along with the under 18s, which would be 17 years of age down to 15, every other player will be a senior. So Dan Atherton, and his nationality is English. His age is 23. Now this next column is potential. So a player will have potential until he's maybe 25, and then it will go stagnant from there and then go downhill as he gets older. So he would possibly have another 2 years of potential. So we give him 18 points. If we go back to the column, the colour chart, you'll see on the left-hand side here, the age from 14 down to 25 plus, and it will tell you roughly what the potential is at 9 points per year. So if you're 15 years of age and your potential runs till you're 25, that's 10 years at 9 points, gives you a potential of 90. Now this doesn't tell you that that goalkeeper is going to improve, that's just if he improves. There are no guarantees that this will happen. Right, the next thing we're going to do is his contract, and you can see the contract here, and first choice goalkeeper. His contract will run out on the 30th of June 2024. So he's still here for 1 more season, but his wages are already £200. Now you can see that we've only got 441 to spend on every goalkeeper, and we really want to be looking around £121 for a maximum wage for a senior player. So what we're going to do next is add up the attributes. Now the attributes are 3 columns here, which are the goalkeeping, the mental and the physical. We don't do the technical on the goalkeepers, just these 3 columns. So what we will do, if you can mentally do it, it's good for you, or you can do this on a calculator, but I'll just quickly do it mentally. Which that column comes to 100. Then the mental column comes to 91, and the physicals comes to 63. So going back to here, you'll see that the goalkeeper is green. If you hover over this, it will tell you that this is his natural position. So I put this into green that side, and he will go into green this side. There are 3 numbers here, but I'll explain these as we use them. So this goalkeeper, Dan Atherton, has points that have added up to 254. Now, as I say, down the bottom here, the goalkeeper that we really need to play for this club needs to be on 314 points. So for him to be our first choice goalkeeper on 254 is very, very weak. So the estimated value now and the estimated wages is going to tell us how much this goalkeeper is worth, and the wage that I think he should be on, not what his actual wage is. This is his estimated. So what we're going to do for this, there's a tab down the bottom called player values. We need to take the 254 natural figure, it will always be the natural figure, and going along here we will need his age. Alright, so we need the 254 and 23. So we click on the player value, and there are 2 columns on the left hand side, one's for goalkeepers, one's for players. And obviously at the moment we are doing the goalkeepers. So when you reach 254, which is there, now we come across, the first column is age 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. So that would tell me he is worth £5,042 if someone was to make an offer. And automatically the estimated wages is coming at £17. Now, he's on £200 a week. It tells me it's way too much, and we will need to get rid of him from the club. So we're going to go back in now, and we're going to look at the second goalkeeper of 4. He is 22. We can see that here. So again, he's going to be one of our senior goalkeepers, and his name is George Gowdy. Now George Gowdy again is English. His age is 22, so the potential figure here will be for 3 years at 9 points. So a maximum there of around 27. It can go up a lot more than this, but it can also decrease as well. Now the contract here is slightly different. He's on a non-contract basis, which means we can dispose of him when we want, or he can do the same to us. He can move to another club without any notice. He doesn't have no contract, but what he does have this side is an appearance fee. So if we play him, we have to pay him £100. It's basically a pay per play. So we write 100 in here because that would be his wage. And the next thing we want to do, we're going to add up his attributes, starting with these 3 columns. So I'll just add these up. So that first column comes to 90. That's 64. And 49. And again, you can see the position here is in green, which means it's a natural position. Fill that in again with green, and under the green header, you can see that his points is 203. And again, we need 314. So this is terrible. So he will get released as we move further into the game. So to get the player value, you need the natural points here, which is 203, and his age is 22. So 203 in that left-hand column. Yep, there it is. And 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 years of age tells me he's worth £188 and should be on £1 a week. And he's actually on nothing as wages go until he actually plays, and then we would have to pay him 100. But that 100 does come off the wage budget. So if you was to release him, that 100 would become available. Now we'll move into our third goalkeeper. And as you can see here, our third and fourth goalkeepers are both youth players, both only age 16. So Fernando Luis is going to be our next goalkeeper. He was Portuguese. And this is what I say about making sure when you start the game, that you make sure you tick the one in the bottom left-hand corner, which means add players to playable teams. Right, so working down here, we can see that he's 16 years of age. Now, he's 9 years away from 25, so he will have 9 times 9 points, which is 81 potential. His contract, this is pretty much the same for all youngsters. They're normally on around £5 for a team down the bottom, and you've normally got them for another 2 years. So 30th of the 6th, 2025 will be his contract of £5 a week. And back now to the attributes, which I'll add up, starting with the first column. And that first column is 92. second column is 72. And the third column is 40. So again, you can see here is in green. This is a natural position. So you'll make sure that you put that in green. And here. And his points at the moment are 204. And he is 16 years of age. So his estimated value, we need to find now, 204, 15, 16. So £497 is his value. It tells you his wage should be around £2 a week. It's only 5, so we're not going to worry about that. And we're going to look at the fourth and final goalkeeper. He's also 16 years of age. And his name is Alec Kirby. He's Irish. And his contract, as you can see here, 30th of the 6th, 25, £5, and he's 16 years of age. So all of that will be exactly the same as the youth player above. And now we're going to add up the points. That first column comes to 81. The second column. And 47, the third one. And again, you can see the goalkeeper's natural position. So we'll highlight them both in green. You can see that his points are 214. That's exactly 100 away from what he needs to be on, and is 16 years of age. So the estimated value here, we bring this down to 214, 15, 16, that tells us that he is worth £1,090. So the top two goalkeepers here, which are senior players, are on 254 points and 203, which we put in ascending order, or descending order, I should say. And these two here, we need to change them around. And you can see the best of the rest, if you like, would be Alec Kirby and Fernando Luis. But out of these four, you can pretty much see that no one is going to make that 314. And this column here is the points added to the potential. So you can see his potential would make 272. The next one, George Gowdy, would bring it up to 230. He's got no chance in playing whatsoever. Alec Kirby could get up to 295 points, and Fernando Luis 285. But again, it tells you that they're not even going to be good enough for this league. Not one of those four goalkeepers will be any good for this club. Now, if you're going to start selling players off or recruiting, you must have a minimum of 3 goalkeepers at the club. So at the moment, what we would do, George Gowdy would be our worst goalkeeper. So we would bring him down to here. And that's it. When we get round to it, we have a little box here called info. And on that we would put release. We look in the color chart here, there's release. And we'll put that in a light yellow. We haven't done that yet, but we will do it after we've done the whole squad. But that's going to be it for today. I'm just going to show you quickly how we start off. That's the goalkeeper form all done. So you can basically see that one of the first players that you will need to sign will need to be a goalkeeper. So again, thanks for everybody that signed up. And what we will do, we will meet again tomorrow. I will do the defenders tomorrow. Then the day after, I will do the midfielders, and the strikers I will do the following day after that. And we'll gradually work through this until we buy everybody, sell everybody, and we have a completely different squad for the following season. But again, as I say, thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already done that, and enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks very much.